For decades, Biafra people have been treated like slaves within the Nigeria enslavement. Over 100 years, we have suffered marginalization, and we have seen worse than the apartheid in South Africa. Today, Biafra person cannot be a president in Nigeria. Biafra do not have seaport. Biafra do not have the presence of any embassy. Biafra do not have any office or any presence of multinational corporation. Biafra do not have any headquarter of any world class organization. Biafra land do not have the presence of the Nigeria federal government. Biafra land do not have road. Biafra do not have school. Biafra land do not have hospital. Biafra do not have social amenities. Biafra do not have any presence of Nigeria state within our land. This is not something that started yesterday. This has been the result of the marginalization, discrimination with impunity, the dangerous diversity of the Nigeria state that Biafra people is unfortunately being part of Nigeria. This is a mistake that British government have done, and will continue to hold the British government accountable. Will continue to blame them until the day Biafra will finally gain its freedom from Nigeria. The British, out of their selfish interest, joined people that have nothing in common together, and they begin to compete among themselves, religious-wise, economic-wise, educational-wise, and cultural-wise. And this whole combination of this pull apart from each other become a dangerous diversity that we suffer today. Biafra people embraced Christianity. Christianity preached about love of one another. Christianity preached about do not harm your fellow human. We embrace Christianity. Our cultural and traditional religion also preach the same. Do not harm any person that is your close relative, your friends, extended families, and even foreigners and strangers. This is what our value system is all about. We embraced the foreign god and become even more radical than them. And then as time goes on, we begin to see the Islamic State, we begin to see the Fulanis coming with aggression, coming with terrorists, coming with terrorism, attacking and killing Biafrans since 1945. This led to the declaration of Biafra by Chief Odumegwu Ojukwu in 1967. Nigeria, being a dangerous diversity, witnessed coup upon coup, military coup upon military coup, and as this was going on, Simon Ekpa was not born. From 1967 to 1970, as Biafra struggled to exit Nigeria because they feel that their life is being threatened and their future and existence is being under attack. They fought a brutal war. Simon Ekpa was not born by then. After 1967 to 70 war, Nigeria declared that it was a no victor, no vanquish. By then, Chief Odumegwu Ojukwu was in exile. At the end of the day, he came back. He was celebrated because the decision, he saw what many people did not see. The people who fought Ojukwu today is being massacred in their villages. Gowon is one of them. Gowon village has witnessed the highest IDP camp within the Nigeria state. He didn't see this coming today. Simon Ekpa was not born in 1970. Simon Ekpa was not born in 1979. Simon Ekpa was not born in 1980. Simon Ekpa was not born in 1981. Was not born in 1982. Was not born in 1983. Was not born in 1984. Simon Ekpa was born in 1985. In 1982 to 1984, a man called Buhari planned coup against Nigeria. Out of this dangerous diversity, he became a military dictator under military rule in Nigeria. It was not as a result of Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa was not born. People are not asking question, why are there this coup upon coup upon coup within the Nigeria state being carried out by North and, of course, Yorubas? But whenever this coup happens, and if there is one single Igbo man in this coup, or one single Calabar man, or one single Ijaw man in this coup, it becomes Igbo coup. After that, this man called Buhari committed many atrocities, including an international crime. 1984, they kidnapped a man called Umaru Dikko from London because he believed, as a Fulani man, he doesn't respect law, not the law of his own country, not the law of any other country. He came back after many years to become a civilian president with impunity. This same man went to Kenya and kidnapped the current leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in Kenya, there has been killing and killing since 1999 by the group led by Wazirike. Simon Ekpa was not part of it. From 1999, Wazirike Mossop members was massacred in cold blood, killed at every given opportunity with stray bullet, straight shooting, live bullet by the Nigeria state. Simon Ekpa was not part of Biafra then, at least not part of the agitation for Biafra. The same Wazirike Mossop gave birth to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, indigenous people of Biafra, and still the killings of Biafra continued. In all these things that were going on, nobody summoned the courage to resist the killings of the Biafra agitators. In 2020, the Fulani killings and upsurge of terrorists become a thing of concern across the Nigeria state, across the entire Africa. They were ranked the #4 most deadliest terrorist group in the world. And because our people become helpless and nobody was speaking for them, and none of these people who call themselves leaders from the eastern part of Nigeria were making any move to protect the women and children from Biafra territory. It was what gave the birth to the formation of the Eastern Security Network by the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Simon Ekpa was yet not part of the leadership of the Biafra movement. After the Eastern Security Network was formed, they made sure they protected our people going to farm in the eastern part of Nigeria. It took them within 1 year, just the mention of Eastern Security Network then made the terrorists to flee from our land. Remember that those who pushed these terrorists to Biafra land did not push them to come and feed their cows. They came prepared for jihadist movement. This did not go down well with the Nigeria state that is being controlled by Fulani terrorist sponsors. from the president down to the lowest person. It didn't go down well with them. And they could not also eliminate the Eastern Security Network. So there is need to hunt for the founder and the head of the ESN and the Biafra movement, which is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. While this was going on, Simon Ekpa was just a broadcaster, making videos, sharing videos, exposing Nigeria state, and nothing else. This led, they went to Kenya, kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 2021. I want people to understand that I'm just trying to make this as brief as possible, because between 2015 to 2017, we have witnessed the massacre of Biafra agitators under Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. They were killed in hundreds at every given opportunity. There has never been any reprisal attack against these killings. There has never been any consequences on the Nigeria side for killing Biafrans. Never has there been any consequences. They killed and we make noise. Those who were then make noise, and that is the end. As this was going on, some people who are today blackmailing and betraying the movement they started were the one who pushed these people to go and die. And after they got killed by the Nigeria terrorist state, their own life continued. They lived on. From these criminal called Chinas and Woru to Chikedozie, all of them were part of the movement. After people are massacred in the street, their own life moves on. They will now want other people to join. The killing did not stop until 2021. They kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. Remember, the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has nothing to do with Simon Ekpa. But you know, many of these criminals today, they tell you that the activities of Simon Ekpa is the reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not been released. And you have to ask them, was it Simon Ekpa activities in 2021 that led to the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the first place? The answer is no. I want you to understand how the enemy works. Those who have become the saboteurs in our struggle, they have made themselves available to be used by the enemy. So they tell you the activities of Simon Ekpa is the reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not released. But it was not the activities of Simon Ekpa that led to the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But you know, when he was kidnapped, I looked around for 6 months. They know that I'm a very, very, very dangerous person, because I know they must have done some consultation. The dangerous person in the sense that I will do everything to liberate my people. I will do everything to protect the women and children of Biafra, because I have seen it all. It took me years to study Nigeria up to this point. Not only that, it took me years to study international law. And that international law is what I'm applying to the Biafra struggle today. For the very first time in the history of Biafra and Nigeria, the dangerous diversity that we find ourselves into have made it possible for us to defend ourselves. And as much as I agree on no violence, we are not the one bringing violence to Nigeria state. Rather, Nigeria aggression must be responded with aggression. That aggression is self-defense. After 2021, I promised Biafra people, after 6 months of blackmailing me because I did not agree to work with them, I have seen many things that many people did not see. I promised Biafra and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu one thing: your kidnapping will be useless. The reason they kidnap you from Kenya, I will make sure that it is as useless as anything. And your kidnapping from Kenya will be very, very expensive to Nigeria state. That was my promise before man and God. And believe me, I am living up to that promise. Today, if they are not regretting kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are lying. I also promise Biafra, nobody will kill you again.
All right, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we'll bring you back-to-back updates and information as it is hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you go be the first. We'll collect them. Let's go down to the news proper as see the hot, as the matter where we say it did for my table, that matter the hot. Ohaneze cautions NEF on allegation against Southeast. Following a video clips of alleged harassment and assault on Northerners engaged in lawful activities in the Southeast, the Chidi Ibe faction of the Ohanezendigbo yesterday urged the Northern Elders Forum to exercise prudence before making weighty allegations against the Southeast, considering that security challenges are a national concern require unified efforts to effectively combat. In a statement in Abakaliki, the Ebonyi State capital, the Secretary General of the Apex Igbo Social Cultural Organization faction, Okechukwu Isiguzoro, said that even though the group categorically denounces any form of violence or intimidation against fellow Nigerians, be it in the East or not, the security agencies should conduct a comprehensive inquiry to determine the video's authenticity, location, and timeline. He said the relentless surge of violence across Nigeria has raised concern among Nigerians and Igbo alike. We cannot disregard the urgent need for heightened effort by all levels of government to address the prevailing security challenges, particularly in the northern Nigeria. We are deeply troubled by the statement attributed to the Deputy Director, NEF, Salimu Mohammed, regarding alleged harassment and assault on Northerners engaged in lawful activities in the Southeast, and as a cause for a thorough investigation to ascertain the veracity and origin of the circulated video depicting this reported harassment. Oh yeah, my people. Before I go down to that particular information, I go like ask one question. Whether is it that Ohanezendigbo is now divided? That's the question I want to ask. To know if Ohanezendigbo is now divided. Our people said that na anyukota mamili ọnụ omegene ọgba ọfụfụ maka na asị na onye a na-ekwu maka ya na onye bụ onye nwekwara n'ife ọ na-eme. Remember the other day, what is his name, nna anyị Iwu Anyanwụ come up and said that nna anyị Iwu Anyanwụ came up and said that Ohanezendigbo does not have a faction, and now a team controlled by Isiguzoro is making statements, and I am asking if Ohanezendigbo actually have a faction, or that Ohanezendigbo is now divided, that Emmanuel Iwu Anyanwụ will be speaking on the other side, and Isiguzoro and his people will be speaking on the other side, and this is to say that Ohanezendigbo have two different groups. Myself, I'm asking, why is it so? Why is it so? Before we start dabbling into what is happening between Hausas and the Igbos, I think on that particular one, that the government should do a proper investigation in order to be able to ascertain what is actually happening. Of course, you know that naturally, Igbo themselves are not violent in nature, and whatever that must have led to that particular attack to Northerners, I think there should be a proper investigation so that the people will be able to ascertain what is actually happening. Also, Taylor, meanwhile, on another information, they say Governor Mba, where we say they for Enugu State, they say the man don't collect your margin. Wow. They say the man don't collect trauma based on say the IPOB members wey be say they dey for that side say they no dey hear. They say make government comot mouth for wetin concern them because wetin they fight na their freedom. They say they no dey trouble anybody, make nobody trouble nobody. Na wetin they talk. Say make the government come up for their road o. Say if government dey for road, anything wey be say they see make them take. As e be, the IPOB don warn say they say Governor Peter Mba, if you put am Oluwale like Mazi Simon Ekpa, na you sabi o. IPOB don dey report say these people, this man dey cause wahala o for that side of Enugu State wey be say dem dey. Shortly, I will carry you go to the full detail of that particular information so that you can see what is currently going on in Enugu now between the led government of Peter Mba and the members of the IPOB. You get one song why I want to sing for you, where we dey sing for our village, and every typical Igbo person will understand what this song means. Onya akpakwana agụ aka n'ọdụ ma ọ dị ndụ ma ọ nwụrụ anwụ. Onya akpakwana agụ aka n'ọdụ. Nko onye kotokolu, onye kotokolu, nko onye kotokolu, onye kotokolu, nko onye kotokolu, onye kotokolu, nko onye kotokolu. Na so it dey be, na so they sing am for Ali Igbo when some matters they arise. And matters wey be say they arise now between the IPOB members and the governor of Enugu State, Peter Olowale. Mba, they don dey tell the man say, Odogunna chakwa n'ụzọ, maka na ife na bananya no na-egbukwa egbu. The IPOB said plans to change the demography of the state by allegedly importing Fulanis would create a crisis. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has issued a warning to Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State. IPOB accused Mba of attempting to create a crisis in the peaceful state. IPOB warned that plans to change the demography of the state by allegedly importing Fulanis will create a crisis. The group warned that the creation of Fulani settlements in the state by Mba's government would be resisted. A statement by IPOB spokesperson Emma Powerful reads, the obnoxious plan by Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State and one Efulefu called Friday Nnaji to flood the Mbu community in issues the local government area of Enugu State with imported foreign Fulani Muslims have gotten to the attention of the family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, led by the indefatigable leader Mazi Nnamdi Okuchukwu Kanu. The evil plan to change the demography of Enugu State's indigenous population will be resisted by IPOB and by extension, Ndi Igbo Gburugburu. Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State wants to create a crisis in the peaceful communities in Enugu State by importing terrorists into the state. He is desperate to fulfill the agreement he had with the Fulani movement called MACBAN, which includes creating a Fulani settlement in Enugu State. This Fulani settlement agenda is being foiled by ESN. Governor Peter Mba doesn't want to be seen as an imposter of terrorists. Hence, he contracted the so-called Friday Nnaji to video his dirty work for him. This Friday Nnaji is not the first Igbo Muslim, but his desperation to destroy his people by facilitating the import of radical Hausa Fulani Muslims into the peaceful community in Enugu State will attract consequences. If the governor Peter Mba and his boy Friday Nnaji have converted to Islam, they can practice their faith without forcing it on the entire community in Enugu State. Governor Peter Mba and his errand boy Friday Nnaji, by their actions, created tension in Mbu community and in the entire Enugu State with their plans to import and flood the peaceful indigenous communities with foreign murderous Fulani Muslims to outnumber the indigenous community. Their advisor and relatives of the governor Peter Mba must cautioned him to retrace his steps. IPOB will never allow this forceful change of demography to take place in any community in Igbo. Governor Peter Mba and his errand boy Friday Inaji should abort their plans as long as IPOB is concerned and has influence in Biafra land. No inch of Igbo will be conquered by the desperate and nomadic Fulani, irrespective of who is behind the consequent agenda. And my people now don't see as it happen. Igbo ekere munu, yeah. Igbo ekere munu, yeah. Askwam na nkonye chikwa ya zelu. Meanwhile, I don't think the issue of a state is what should be handled by personal interest. Ndi Igbo, I will open the floor for you people because you know most of the times you people used to worry about the things I bring up here, but you don't listen to some of them to the end before you make your judgment. Because na ara ke lele ogasi kalonka atotu engega na ara ke aleludene atotu engega. And when I show Igbo mulum, my people and who I am their people, kindly put mouth into this matter. Make una put mouth into this particular matter to know how these things will be sorted out, because as na okwu ada no na afọ esi o webụ na ya bụ okwu nke nwa nọkwa n'afọ na-achị isi. Meanwhile, this is where I be winding down the curtain. Ndị ọ dị n'aka biko were n'ọnụ tinye kemesịa na ụmụnne. Arise, and matters where we say they arise now between the IPOB members and the governor of Enugu State, Peter Olowale. They don't tell the man say Odogunna chakwa n'ụzọ maka na ife na bananya no na-egbukwa egbu. The IPOB said plans to change the demography of the state by allegedly importing Fulanis would create a crisis. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has issued a warning to Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State. IPOB accused Mba of attempting to create a crisis in the peaceful state. IPOB warned that plans to change the demography of the state by allegedly importing Fulanis will create a crisis. The group warned that the creation of Fulani settlement in the state by Mba's government would be resisted. A statement by IPOB spokesperson Emma Powerful reads, the obnoxious plan by Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State and one Eflefu called Friday Inaji to flood the Mbu community in issues the local government area of Enugu State with imported foreign Fulani Muslims have gotten to the attention of the family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, led by the indefatigable leader Mazi Nnamdi Okuchukwu.